So we start with the Times. This is the beginning, or maybe the beginning and the end, I don't know, of the backlash against the Supreme Court's ruling that you're not a woman unless you were born a woman, and vice versa. And this is the BMA actually coming in. So doctors at the British Medical Association have voted to condemn the ruling because they say it's scientifically illiterate and biologically nonsensical.
That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. What they're saying is, we recognise as doctors that sex and gender are complex and multifaceted aspects of the human condition. Attempting to impose a rigid binary itinerary has no basis in science. But the thing is, there is a basis in science. We are, either born male or female.
Chromosomes, yeah.
Chromosomes, exactly. Yeah. I try to explain it to myself and to other people in that, for instance, I am old.
No.
No. Well, of course, in anybody's books, I am old.
Not in the sense of...
Not in ours.
In the sense of centuries and...
Well, almost.
No, Nina.
I'm 112. But anyway...
You're not.
No.
Thank you very much.
OK, let's take that as a premise.
It takes as a premise.
Been outvoted,
But
though.
I desperately want to be young. I am a young person and I want to be young. Now, with modern medical techniques and health knowledge, I can physically I could have every bit of surgery, I could keep myself fit, I could, to all intents and purposes, look young. But basically, I am not young. So if I was born in a male body and I desperately wanted to be female, with modern medical technique, I could become female, but the basic fact, you see, that's the basic fact.
I think that's a very good analogy, because I think that's quite similar. What do you think, Angela?
I think there's a basic biological fact that biological sex is determined by the XX or XY chromosomes. And these people who are gripped, the BMA, by this toxic orthodoxy that has infiltrated a small part of the BMA and is discarding the fact that it took the highest court in the land to rule on this, which, when it's the bleeding obvious, excuse my French, is astonishing in its own right. If you're born with certain reproductive facilities or certain anatomy, you're a woman. If not, you are a man. And how you identify something is something personal.
Is it, because I was only going to say, I have got a friend who's trans, and this friend actually has been on this show. I won't name her, but she was in makeup 10 times before the makeup artiste realised that at some point in the past she'd been a man. And I don't want to say to her, you're actually a man, but also it sort of feels wrong as well. She's had a total physical reassignment. OK, if you want to be really factual, you can say she's still got a prostate, so she's a man.
But she still has a penis.
No, I don't think so. I haven't looked.
But the thing is, as I say, I also have known someone for decades who transitioned decades ago. And as I said, the thought of her not being able to use the female toilet, which is used perfectly happily, and everybody's happy, but nobody would be worried about it. What I think I said on the show last time is that what women fear is the penis used as a weapon.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, and that's it. So, so this is far more nuanced. It's so difficult. And the thought that she'd going to have to go and use disabled toilets.
Well, that's the new thing.
I know,
yeah.
but it's very simple. If somebody still has a penis and they can potentially weaponise that, if you like, in the sense of putting a young girl going into a changing room with somebody who is effectively still a man. But basically,
the BMA obviously don't agree with you. The BMA don't agree. The BMA say that.
What have they been doing at medical
Well, I don't
schools
know.
for 5
I'm
years?
a bit confused by this.
You know something? As the mother of sons, as people who've carried boys, that's the only time a woman can have a penis is when you're growing them. When you've got a baby inside you. I know, I feel really strong. That didn't... When I was pregnant carrying boys, I wasn't allowed to go into a male changing room because I happened to have a penis
I never thought of
inside me.
that. Gosh, this is getting wild.